Welcome back to Hotel Talk, and today I have yet another inspiring lady with us. She is the CEO of ROM Maritime Limited, which is just one of the many, many companies under her belt. She's also the owner of those companies, and she was the winner of this year's, or the latest, I should say, Red Diamond Award here in Limassol, Cyprus. She won the main award, which was quite fascinating and definitely inspirational. And she's also got an amazing voice. She's an incredible singer, performer, entertainer, and just lovely person. Olesea Ceaicovschi, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Good morning, Cyprus. Good morning, Farah, our woman and lady of inspiration. Thank you very much for inviting me here and for hosting me today.
Oh, you're so sweet. It's really a pleasure. I mean, I couldn't not do it. We're doing Hotel Talk, and I met you actually in at our resort. The first time I met you was at Sailor's Rest, I believe, through a mutual friend. And then later on at Red Diamond, which was really nice, and which was at Four Seasons Hotel. So it's just an example of everybody that's on Hotel Talk so far is all connected, not just by our hotel that we're in today, but just by one hotel somewhere in the world. And it's just amazing how many interesting people our hotels bring together. But you're from the maritime trade, and you're obviously not from Cyprus. So let's start by telling us a little bit about you. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? Who you married? How you ended up in Cyprus? We want it all. So give us your story.
Okay, let's go. Let's start. So I was born in Chisinau, Moldova, the capital of Moldova, which is placed between Romania and Ukraine, a beautiful green country. I was raised up over there, but at a very early age, I started traveling all around Europe because I was professional dancing for 14 years. Okay.
And what type of dancing? That's amazing.
I did 6 years professional ballet and then folk dance, but folk of different origins and different traditions. Well, let's get back to Moldova. I was raised up there in a wealthy family, I would say. Why I mention this, I will explain later. It will have a connection. And I did 2 high degrees, one in law. I'm a licensed lawyer in criminology, which I did in Moldova, in Chisinau, at the State University of Moldova. The second one, it's in music industry, which I did in London. So at the age of 18, I left my parents' house for good, and I moved to London. Well, coming back to Moldova once again, until this age of 18, I did the dancing, but at the age of 16, because you mentioned about my singing, I started singing. It started from a joke, actually. During my birthday, some beautiful music was playing at the background, and I was just singing, whispering along that melody. And a friend of mine, she said, Olesea, why wouldn't you start singing? Okay, I laughed. I said, come on, I'm a professional dancer. What are you talking about? She goes, no, maybe you did not realize that you have a nice pitch and voice. So, okay, I left it as a joke, but next morning, I woke up, I looked to the ceiling, and that idea just grabbed me completely. I said, wow, maybe I must try it. So I rang up a friend who was doing canto lessons, and I asked her for the most strict teacher she ever met in her experience, because I like things, I like hard things in a difficult way.
You like to challenge yourself.
Yes, I love challenges, thank you. So she gave me a number of a lady from the conservatorium, and she said, but listen, be ready. She's extremely strict. She doesn't speak a lot, and she can be even a bit rude sometimes. I said, okay, no worries. I have a good background with my dancing teacher, who was extremely strict as well. So basically, I went. This lady invited me to her house, not to the conservatorium itself. She was a professor, piano and canto. Um, I chose two of the most difficult songs at that time of one of our most famous singer. You know, always I go for the most difficult.
For the biggest challenge.
So she told me, "Okay, what did you learn? Are you ready?" I said, "Yes, I am." Okay, I started singing. Suddenly she stopped. Oh my God, I thought, Jesus, shall I just put my shoes on and leave? What shall I do now? Because she was quiet. She just stopped playing. Then she looked at me, extremely strict. My dear lady, you have amazing voice. You need to find a good producer, composer, and writer. I went, thank God, everything is fine. So this is how my story started at that time about my singing. Then I did record some songs which became hits. I have 3 hits in Moldova. They are in the archive of National Radio of Moldova, which means my grandkids, grandkids, they will all be able to call up and just order the song of their grandmother, which is really beautiful legacy. In 2012, I was about to move to Moscow. Sorry, I forgot to say something. Before 2012, in 2007, I came over to Cyprus. And in 2010, I had to leave because my mom had a blood stroke, unfortunately. So I had to go and help her and, be beside her, support her. So meantime, she was getting better. We were working hard on that. And finally, I got a great offer in Moscow to go for big concerts on big stages with very famous singers, not only from Russia, but from abroad. So at that moment, I had already 4 hits, 3 in Moldova and 1 in UK, which I wrote by myself. So I'm the songwriter and composer of these songs. And somehow just before moving to Moscow, because that offer was a great one, I couldn't miss it, I met my husband, my future husband, okay? My husband now, my future husband at that moment. A great man with a huge heart, with amazing potential inside, great sense of humor. That's the qualities which captured me, not the look or other issues. And you'll not believe, he had an office in Limassol. And I said, come on, this is unbelievable. I just left from Limassol. We never met there, but because we met in Chisinau. He came to Moldova with some partners, business partners at that time, with investment projects. They were searching for new projects in order to make some investments. And it happened, I always say nothing happens without reason, everything has a reason in this life. I was director of a music company at that moment, and I was preparing myself to go to Thessaloniki for a big expo for a week, just before I met my husband. So I was fully busy with my preparations, because unfortunately my country couldn't offer me a bigger delegation, so I had to do a job for, let's say, 3-4 people in Greece. And suddenly one morning a friend of mine called me up around 9 o'clock, and she said, listen, I need your help. I said, what happened? She goes, can you please replace me at some meeting, because I can't make it today. I just can't make it. And I said, listen, if it would be anybody else, I would refuse. But, she was so helpful when my mom just had the stroke and I was still here in Cyprus. And until, I arranged my moving back home. So I said, I cannot refuse you, because you just did so much for my family. My mom is everything. So I said, okay, I'll go, but please be informed I have only 1 hour. It's my lunchtime. I'm very busy because I have to leave in 3 days. You know how it is before traveling. And so this is how I end up at that business meeting. And we just had a click, but the ice broke, okay, during our conversation when we realized that we have same day birthday. So 12 October is our birthday. And then we started making jokes and
The stars
laughing,
aligned.
And then I said, okay, it gets interesting, So, yeah, we have a long story until we got together. A beautiful story, but this is, I believe, for another time. My husband is from Holland. So we have a beautiful daughter. She's 8 years old. Very talented. Well, at this stage,
And a character like her mama. I met her. She's adorable.
I hope she took the best from me and best from daddy, I really hope. But yeah, she does have character, strong character, which I really hope it will help her in the future. And at some point we decided to move back to Cyprus. Actually, for me, it was moving back to Cyprus. For Rob was first time moving to Cyprus. And he had a little bit of dilemma because all his life he would just sit in the car and drive from one country to another, cross the borders. And over here is a bit different. We are on an island. I would say I love Cyprus. I'm over here for 16 years with a small break when I went back home to support my mom. But I love this island, and Cyprus is my home. So I have very warm feelings towards Cyprus. And I know many people who were leaving this island and coming back because I believe Cyprus has something like a magnet which attracts you back. I have no idea what it has, but it does have something.
I've seen it so many times with so many friends, and people have left for so many years, and they'll, even if it's just to keep coming back for their holidays, they love it. And it definitely has a genuine warmth and the true nature of hospitality. But getting back to you and your story, what is it that gave you that drive to seek out maybe the less conventional path? So you grew up in, comfortable home, privileged, and yet you always wanted more. You always wanted adventure, and you had the courage and the determination to go and get it. What do you think, or who was it that gave you that strength and that ideology in your life to go out and get it?
I believe it comes from my mother. She was a fighter. She's still a fighter. Thank God she's alive and healthy.
Oh, knock on wood.
She was the businesswoman in the family. She was the strong person, the strongest, I would say. I don't mean nothing bad about my father. He's an amazing person, cheerful. Always he was supporting her, but she was the leader in the family. And I believe this role model I took from her. And yes, indeed, even though my family was very wealthy, when I left my parents' house, sorry, I started working already at the age of 16, and just for a simple fact that I wanted to be independent. I did not want to go to my parents and ask, some money to buy an ice cream. Come on. And beside that, I was already traveling since I was 12 with my group of dance. So I was more mature, more developed, and more independent.
Maybe the dance gave you that, and the
Yes.
discipline that
ballet
and dance gives is, it's insane. It's a university or a PhD on its own.
Well, I always say the best university is the life experience. So I believe, yes, I took a lot from those years when I was traveling with my group. So I felt at 16 that I'm ready to study and work same time, and not necessarily. And I moved separately from my parents, actually. But when I was 18, okay, I said I left my parents' house, but actually I left my homeland. So yes, my mom was the hardest worker I ever seen so far. She's the lady who taught me keep your family together, even when you go through less pleasant moments and you think it's over, but you have to keep it together. She's my role model, and yeah,
Wise
I
words.
love her,
Oh,
and I miss her.
oh, that's so. I have to interject now and say to everybody listening to wish Olesia's mummy the best, because she's not so well at the moment. And Olesia's showing once again how strong she is by being here with us and telling her story, even at difficult moments. So let's get on to happier memories.
Yes.
You won the Red Diamond Award, and the main one, because 4 prizes are given out and you got the main. And you went up in your beautiful red dress and your daughter was there. So it's like history repeating itself. You always looked up to your mummy, and then your lovely daughter was there. How did that feel? And you sang Simply the Best, and it was just wonderful. How did that feel, and how did you interpret that recognition of all your accomplishments to date?
Farah, I'll be honest with you. It was an unexpected moment for me. I'm extremely grateful from the bottom of my heart for getting this award. I'm grateful to all the people who were next to me before getting the award, because obviously we had some preparations. Yeah. So I would like to take this opportunity and thank the whole crew who supported me during the period of preparations, who came to the Red Diamond event to support me, my friends. I would like to thank the members of jury who trusted me, yes, and in me. And I would like to thank Mrs. Andrea Anastasiadis for holding my hand during the whole speech I had on stage, because that was an epic moment. Honestly, I never met Mrs. Andre so close before, and the way we connected, like we knew each other for so long, you know.
She's a lovely, lovely lady. She really is our
I
first
do agree
lady.
with you, and you know, I felt so comfortable. I don't know how to explain you. I felt like it was some birthday party or a family gathering or a family dinner. Really, I did not feel nervous at all. And the song Simply the Best, it's following me, I believe, since the age of 18, 19. And most probably that's why I chose to sing it on stage before knowing that I will take the award. It's just that, you know, we had to choose the best one, correct? And yeah, I'm really thankful. Thank you everybody for your support. Thank you. I'm really grateful.
You deserve it, my dear. Success follows people who deserve it and who attract it. So your lovely daughter was with you. How has being a mother shaped you or changed your view of the world? Because I think it's fair to say for all of us, as we become parents and we move out of the role of sometimes being a little bit more selfish or just a little bit more self-centered as children, and then we become mothers. I think for many of us, we have a different view, maybe.
Well, I say there is life before you have a child, and there is a different life after you have a child.
The exhausted life after.
Yes,
Lack
indeed,
of
it's
sleep.
extremely exhausting, but it's so beautiful. Come on, you have 3 angels. You know how it is.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I believe it's one of the most beautiful things which happened in my life is when I became a mother. I will never forget these feelings. You cannot explain it with words, really. It's something inexplicable, you know. I do enjoy my role as a mother. I try to my best to give her as much time as I can, because, you know, we try to combine. I'm a full-time worker. So it's not easy. It's extremely challenging. And especially because I work together with my husband, it's even more challenging for those who have similar experience. I think they will understand me the best. But somehow we managed to build a beautiful legacy together. We managed to overcome most difficult moments, which I believe we will still have. You know, it's inevitable when you have business together. But we are proud to be parents of the amazing Alison Victoria Ceaicovschi van Hessel. You know,
Very long, regal name. Beautiful.
it is. We were picking very thoroughly how were we going to. Oh my God! It was a huge story with giving her a name. Finally, yeah. Finally, God gave us a beautiful present, which is Alison, and we try our best to invest in her as much as we can, not only time, but obviously, first of all, love, care, and we try to give her the best we can.
And how do you balance it? I mean, I get asked this question all the time, like, how do I balance it? And yeah, there's no rules definitely set in stone. And I laugh most of the time. We're just winging it, doing our best. But how would you say, if you had to give someone some tips or some words of advice to being a full-time working mom and being there for your, not just your child, but your husband, your home, how do you balance it?
Well, I believe the best is to have a program made upfront. Okay, this is my working time, this is my family time. Of course, it's not always possible to follow it, but it does make your life easier a little bit. So, you know, for example, Sunday is your family day, or at least half day, or evenings. Well, how I would... Can you ask me again, please?
So,
because I think I
yeah.
went away from the question.
Don't worry. So how's the best way to, I think that's a really good point that you've said, actually, is carving out times that you say, this is definitely my home time, my family time,
Okay.
and then this is my
Combining.
work time.
Okay.
So combining.
Well, in this case, the best is to talk, just to talk things
Communication.
out. Communication
Yeah.
is the base of everything. Because once we start to hold back things we don't feel comfortable with when we come home, then the problem is becoming bigger, and then this bubble can explode and cause a lot of consequences. So I think best thing is the communication, talk to each other, compromise. Definitely, we must compromise from both sides, and always try to find some time for the family. But
And
I
quality
believe
time. It's not just the
definitely.
hours.
It's quality rather than quantity,
yeah.
in everything, not only in family. I believe. I hope you agree with me.
Yeah.
Even in
Yeah.
business, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we try to combine. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your business. I mean, we're not going to talk too much about that on this podcast, but you're in maritime. So what do you do? What does it entail for someone who knows nothing about maritime? What is it exactly that you focus on? And I mean, just some, because as we said, you have many, many businesses and different hats and different companies, but what's the main gist of it?
Very often I get this question, what is your business exactly about? Because people is confusing. Shipping, normally, usually they say shipping. No, it's not shipping. So I will try to explain as short as possible, but as clear as possible. Basically, we are doing crewing. We provide specialized, licensed, professional crew on inland tankers. The niche we are working in is the most difficult one because we're dealing with chemicals. So, chemical niche requires higher responsibility and higher risk than other other crewing, let's say, sectors. Now, we've been doing this together with my husband for the last 11 years. Thank of him, actually, I got into this business. My husband is a professional captain and pilot for inland ships. What I mean inland is river vessels, because not everyone can recognize this word from the beginning. Mainly, we sail in our ships, our clients' ships. We had some ships before, but we decided to deal only with crewing. So we do ship management as well, maritime consultancy. We did even cruise vessels, again, inland ones. So our vessels are sailing in Holland, Belgium, Germany, Switzerland, France, across England. So mainly it's West Europe, let's put it this way. So thank of my husband, I entered into this business, but that doesn't mean that he's the one who brought me where I am today. I mean, I've been working very hard and I've been learning a lot about it. It was a very long way to get where I am, with a long story behind, because it was completely something which I had no idea about. So, we do crewing, and we have offices all over Europe and not only. So we are very proud of that.
And we're back to the same underlying factor of your personality is your determination and your courage and your quest for the challenge. So you're back to, facing that challenge and rising above it, which is amazing. I mean, that's inspirational in itself.
Yeah, you have absolutely right. It's really inspirational now when I look back. I'm thinking, oh my God, why did I go for it? Why I couldn't go for something easier? I'll never forget. There was June 2013. We had a big discussion with my husband, which wanted me very much to be a housewife, which I was never, and which I never planned to be. So I told him, no way. I said, or I am going to have some own business, as I had already. I had different projects before I met Rob. Or we're going to work together. So you have to choose what we do, because I will never stay at home, and I need to develop. Okay, people are different. Everybody.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with staying at home. It's an amazing.
Somebody,
Yeah,
everyone
path.
has a
their
destiny, And then I will never forget this day. He brought me one green folder with few pages inside in French. Okay, thank God I speak French. So that was from a bank in Belgium. To be honest, I was shocked that he has so little data regarding his business. He has no, come on, where are all your files and all the documents? And he goes, yeah, that's all I have. I said, yeah, can you explain me something? He goes, well, you have the folder. Please try to learn yourself as much as you can. I'm a bad teacher. I can't teach you so much. So believe me, Farah, it took me like 3 months. I was sitting until midnight, 2:00 in the morning, Googling, I don't know, trying to put all my knowledge together.
River cruises.
From where shall I take it? So, yes, indeed.
But sometimes that's the best way to learn, get thrown in the deep end.
Is the best way to learn, and as well is the best way to build your business your way. Because, for an instance, even all the Excels and all the information which we have at the moment, the model of it was made by me. And of course, by the years and experience, we adjust it sometimes. We make it, improve it better and better. But yes, I must say, I'm proud of what we achieved.
You should be. You should be. And there's nothing wrong with feeling proud in life. I think we all should. It's something we discussed also on this podcast, I think before, I can't remember which episode, is that sometimes people feel shy or embarrassed, or they think like, oh no, I shouldn't be so open about my achievements. But there's a difference between being arrogant, and then there's a difference between owning what you've done and feeling proud of that and moving forward and seeking out challenges.
Recently I have been asked, I completely agree with you, so I would like to add something. Recently I have been asked by a quite, let's say, intelligent person, do you consider yourself a role model? Well, I would not agree. You cannot go outside and say, I'm a role model. Come on, you have to follow me and my rules and my knowledge. No, nobody is perfect. We're all learning through our mistakes, even though we are told since little, best is to learn from somebody's mistakes. Yes, we hear this, but we always learn after we do our own
mistakes. Yeah.
So, it's like having two chefs in the same kitchen with same products, same recipe, and at the end you might have completely two different dishes with different taste.
Absolutely. So, different look, different textures, different everything.
Even if somebody will take your advices, okay, they can take it or leave it. Obviously, you can take something from somebody with force. You cannot give with force. So even if somebody would follow your experience and your advices, they might end up completely in a different direction. Maybe better or maybe worse.
Yeah.
You don't know, because everyone has a different destiny and everyone has its path to pass in this life. So being proud of what you have achieved, yes, I completely agree with you. This is not arrogant at all. Obviously, you don't have to walk around and shout about it and, I'm proud. No, but at least inside, when you see people around you improving and you being a leader, not a boss, you're not hitting them with heads by the wall. You're just trying to improve their life level. You're trying to teach them something good from what you've learned through your own mistakes. Yes, this is something to be proud of.
My dear, I couldn't agree more. I'm going to give you the last bonus question. So this is, in case you don't know, I haven't listened to any of the others, so I'll read it to you. This is from our team. So our team have put together, well, look, the whole bowl is here in front of us. So all of these questions have been asked until now. And so some are hotel related, some are not. And this is what you've got. Can you remember a favorite teacher you had and why they were so special? Did they help shape you?
Absolutely. It was my very first teacher. God bless her. She's not with us anymore. She was my primary teacher for the first 4 years, which I believe, our teachers is like our parents, and they do play a huge role in the first input of our education, our manners, and even not necessarily the knowledge, the book knowledge, but our behavior as future adults. So I believe school is our second home, and teachers are our mothers, fathers. And yes, I remember my very first teacher, Elisaveta Alexandru. I hope she's happy up there, God bless her.
I'm watching down with pride, I'm sure, at everything you've achieved.
Thank you.
My dear, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, especially on a difficult day. We do appreciate it. I don't want to get emotional as well, but I thank you so much, and we wish your mum all the best. And I loved hearing your story. I think everybody who listens to this can learn something from it, and especially a reminder of just how the discipline that ballet and dance is and what that can instill in someone for the rest of their lives. It's not for everyone, and not everyone can do it or would choose to do it from a young age, but really how in a positive way you can take all of that knowledge and studies and move forward and just become a child of life's lessons, which you obviously have, and just be so positive and so friendly and so approachable. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, Farah. It was a very warm discussion today. Thanks once again for having me here next to you. And I would tell you now that I really admire you, and you do inspire a lot of people. Probably you know about that. You hear it so often.
Thank you so much. No, thank you. It means a lot.
And maybe at first people think that you are more of okay, not so open, let's say, but as more I know you, I get to know you, I understand that you have a great heart and you are an unbelievable lady who deserves to be considered a role lady. And yes, you are a lady of inspiration. Thank you once again, and I wish everyone lots of health, prosperity, positive vibes. Always look towards the sun, and the shades will be behind you. Don't lose the faith in what you do. Never give up. And love yourself. This is very important. And if you achieve something, be proud of yourself. Love you guys. Thank you very much for this amazing interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you.